record? Wait, I need to find out how to. So many things. I should have Googled this stuff beforehand, but I didn't know. Okay. How to record video. Oh, I'm already recording video. I'm doing it. Okay. Somehow it started.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh,
Awesome.
it's recording. Okay.
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man.
I learned something.
So I probably only need like maybe like a 30-second clip, or I can edit it to just be like how did we meet? How did we get on this collaboration?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so maybe we could go into that, so I could be like, oh, so tell us a little bit about what you did in order for me to find you.
Um, if I recall, and I did a lot of this, I put ads on Facebook. Oh wow, I was everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, all kinds of social media, Craigslist or whatever, looking for collaborators. Me being a producer, and I'm also an artist, but I mainly wanted to produce for other artists with a lot of the material that I had written and composed. So I just put a lot of ads out on social media and so forth. And I've met, several talented singer songwriters, artists, and stuff like that from all over the world, including yourself, obviously. So, but yes, that's how I went about it.
Yeah, awesome. And like you made it really easy for me to like, find you and then click on it and then like, email you or message you and get back to you. Because I think it was on
Oh
Facebook,
yeah,
wasn't it? Like it was a Facebook page.
yeah. I get a lot
Um,
of responses on Facebook, these various groups or whatever, the legitimate ones anyway.
yeah, yeah, and you got back to me pretty quickly, um,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah,
was cool.
yeah. I
So
try to
like,
be professional.
yeah, yeah, which was awesome. And yeah, like how long ago was that process now? Like when was it? That was that like March or something? What are we in there? Or
Yeah,
was
it
it
was, it was it
earlier
was
than
March. I
that?
think it was like springtime. You know what I'm saying? I usually come alive right around February. A lot of things open up as far as opportunities in the music industry right around February and stuff like that. So that's usually when I pound the cyber pavement a lot, as they say, and try to get collaborations and stuff like that. I did a lot of hit and miss. I did a lot of trial and error with people, and came across a lot of people who weren't serious, and people didn't realize this is fun work, but it's still work. If you want to get something done, you got to work towards it, and you got to be disciplined. And I met a lot of people that just weren't. I mean, it took me like 4 years just to get like one other artist to collaborate with, and then 2024 was a blessing. I got like five artists, what I'm saying, to actually collab with talented people who were at least halfway serious about doing what we did, and producing the tracks and splitting the publishing. I taught them about ASCAP and performance right organizations and stuff like that, so we can do this on a professional level.
Yeah. So explain a little bit what ASCAP is.
ASCAP stands for the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. It's a performing rights organization, not to be confused with copyright and so forth. But make sure that when your songs are performed in media, multimedia, television, motion pictures, and stuff like that, commercials, you are paid for your work. You are paid as being the owners of the music or audio or whatever that you register on their website.
Yeah. Which is basically the same thing as like APRA AMCOS in Australia. It's just the American
Right,
version, which is cool.
right.
Yeah.
That's the
They
Australian
collect your
version or whatever.
royalties.
But yeah, that's
And yeah,
yeah, that's very important. Very important.
totally. Yeah. I found out like the other day I was booking some flight somewhere, but there's like so many worldwide of these collection agencies. So I was like, oh, that's cool to know.
Yeah,
No more than just
Just
like
stay with
our
the legitimate
standard
ones.
ones. Yeah. Cool.
Right.
So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do with this is actually put this whole thing up on YouTube actually. Are you
Beautiful.
okay with that? Yeah, I think this will be cool because it's kind of like, maybe rather than I can put a little link up on Instagram to like, hey, check out this collaboration
Yeah.
video of
Yeah,
us.
definitely.
And I'm probably gonna do it unedited. So hi guys.
Ah, ha, ha, ha,
No,
ha.
we'll
Yeah,
see. We'll
yeah,
see what happens. Um,
yeah. Well,
but
you have
yeah,
my email. Oh, excuse me. My my channel on YouTube, correct? Mr. Excelsior. I think I sent you a links or whatever. As far as like I have a lot of my commercials for my clothing brand up there and stuff like that. And I also do these little food reviews at the restaurants and stuff like that. So if you don't have that, you can also, tag me on that, Mr. Excelsior. It's all one word or whatever. I'll give you that information, if you need it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I'll do that. That will be cool. So yeah, a little bit more about the
Yeah.
collaboration process. So I reached out to you. You sent me some tracks. I listened to a few of them. I was doing this while I was on the bus. So I'm also a bus driver. So for those of you that don't know, but
Right, right.
yeah. And I think that's how we kind of like we've had a few of these little video calls now of the process and being like, okay, what are we thinking? Is this the right direction? Um,
Right, right, right.
which is heaps of fun. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
like you said before, it's all about hard work. It's like working while I'm still working, but it's like just grinding and getting that process um,
Discipline. Yeah.
down. Yeah, and communicating. I think that was the first thing I really liked about you was you were like, oh, like I've had so many people string me along, or why couldn't
Right.
they tell me? Why tell me 6 weeks later that they can't write to the track? Why not tell me
Thank you.
this quite early on? And like you're
Right.
really setting that foundation of being like, I just want people to be honestly communicative, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is great. Like, if I'm
Yeah.
not feeling something or I'm not doing what I should be in the time frame that I've set for myself, just let you know, and kind
Right.
of
Yeah.
grow with the process. And I think it took maybe about what a month or two before I
Right.
probably had something. So it was like you gave me the track. I think I even made some like minor adjustments, and I think was it eight
Right.
bars that you sent me or 16 bars,
Yeah, it was something like that.
something like
I,
that.
I
Yeah,
usually, I usually, I usually start with that. Just give you a taste of whether you feel you can work with it. I think 16 bars or 32 bars is enough. And hell, when you do 32 bars, that's usually like 2 minutes or whatever. Nowadays, the full song is like 32 bars, 2 minutes or whatever. So, it gives you a good solid idea of whether this is something you can work with. Make some minor changes, throw some seasoning on it, and then boom, next thing you got something that's going to be really good. And you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? It can only get better from that point moving forward.
Exactly. And I think like once I really listened to the words that you were saying of like just communicate, and not even to me, it was more about like the other people that you'd worked with. It made it
Right.
easier for me to be like, hey, this is a green light for me to be like, do you mind if I change this? Do you mind if I rearrange it this way? And I think
Have
like
to.
yeah, in that process, like I think I found the kick very masculine or the snare. There was something, and I was like,
Yeah, the
I
snare.
need to
Yeah, remember the
feminize it a
clap or something on the snare.
bit.
Right,
Yeah, like I needed to change it
right.
up, and like I felt comfortable in being able to say to you, it was like, oh, I'm gonna change this out. I'm gonna do that, and like
Well,
once I started putting my own little, like you said, like sugar on it and spice,
yeah.
like I could really like then start focusing on like how am I gonna write to this, and I think that process came from being able to kind of like put a little bit of flavor on the beat as well. So I think that, yeah,
Right,
I thank you
right.
so
It's
much
all
for that. Yeah.
production.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's all production. I mean, I can't force you to rap, sing, write to anything that is just strictly my musical vision or my musical taste. You know what I'm saying? If I was going to be that hammerhead of a person or a producer to do that or whatever, I might as well just make it an instrumental or try to rap, sing, or write to it myself. So like I said, I bring the peanut butter, you bring the jelly, we make a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's got to be. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really have any demands as far as oh, this has to be like this, and then it's something that you might be uncomfortable with. I've always given anybody that I work with the freedom and the ability to express what they want to do, what they want to bring to the table as far as this project is concerned. And I like it. I've been satisfied with everything that I've done that has been completed. You know what I'm saying? There are other things that I've done that are still a little haywire, and they're not complete. I still got tons of songs still sitting on my laptop. They need vocals, they need lyrics, and they're just sitting here or whatever. And I work with different artists and different styles, and sometimes I just come up with stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to save this for this artist. I'm going to save this for that songwriter. I'm going to save this as an instrumental. This track is going to be just strictly sound design. I just made up something that I was going to throw out, and then come to find out, it goes really good with the video, my last video that I did on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. And it's just background music. I was going to throw it out. I was like, oh, this is corny, man. This is, what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just good background music. And I get compliments on something that I was going to throw in the garbage. I was going to delete it. People are like, oh, never mind the video, Sean. I like that beat. Where'd that come from? I'm like, well, I did that. I made that. You know what I'm saying? And being original, that has its perks too, or whatever, because people are like, they don't just see my video work, they hear the music in the background, and I get compliments on that. And I'm like, hey, well, I'm mainly a music guy before I'm a video guy. So that's where my 35 years of experience comes in, as far as producing audio, and getting the best quality sound that I can get out of my audio projects and music projects.
Definitely. Hey, it always seems to be the case. It's like that one that you was like, oh, that's nothing, or I'm gonna throw it away. And then everyone's like, I love
Yeah.
that. But
Right,
good on
right.
you.
And then you work on a song for 9 months, and you still can't finish it, and it's just like, oh man, I keep changing it, keep throwing it. I'm just like, oh man, you know what? I'm gonna put this on the back burner and just go to something else. I like working on 2 or 3 tracks at a time, because I do a lot of experimenting, and it's easier for me to focus on 2 or 3 tracks at a time, because if I come up with a particular sound or whatever, and I study software and plugins and so forth, and I'm like, okay, if I'm working on just one song, I might not want a saxophone solo in that one song, but I might want that for song number 3 that I'm working on or whatever. So then I'll start, playing around with that sax solo or whatever in song number 3 and whatnot. Then I can come back to song number 2, song number 1. I might want a scratching sound or a xylophone, or you know, acoustic upright bass or whatever. So I really like working on like 2 or 3 tracks at a time, and seeing like, okay, well, what's the best to give to Sahaja for the next one, or just whatever, what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, which is cool. So like, yeah, even leaning into that, where actually, you've already started working on the second track, which is
Yeah. And
awesome.
you have that by now, right? You
I
got
do
you
have it.
got that
Yeah.
EMJ, I called it. Yeah, okay.
EMJ. Yeah, so I'm gonna get back into that. I think after the show on
Right.
Friday, because yeah, how cool is that? We've got Chaos is coming out on Friday, and
Yes, yes.
we're both super proud of the work that we did on that. And you're
Yeah,
doing a
yeah.
remix for it as well, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm wrapping that up. I still have the vocals or whatever. I wanted the vocals to be satisfying to you or whatever. So I've got, the old vocals or whatever, and I've got the recent ones that you sent or whatever. So yeah, that's coming together really, really nice or whatever. But I gotta, get that to you, get your approval first, of course. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm picky.
yeah, that should be completed hopefully this week. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
awesome. So yeah, are you
Yeah.
excited for Chaos coming out on Friday?
Oh yeah, I got a lot of my friends here in the United States. I told them about it and everything. I showed them some of the videos that you sent on my phone, and I showed some of my coworkers. They're like, "Oh wow," you know what I'm saying? Especially the video you sent with the fire tracks, and and all that stuff. They was like, "Wow, okay." So they were like, "Yo, she's a superwoman," just like I said. They're like, "Yeah, she does it all. Does a lot." You know what I'm saying? Very talented. So,
Oh, I
but
love that. Well, that's very
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of
They're like,
them.
they're like, "Oh man, Sean, I gotta meet her, man. Where's she at?" I'm like, "Australia." They're like, "You mean Australia, the country with the kangaroos and all the, I was like, "Yeah, that Australia. She's far, far away." So, I think what's 14 hours ahead of us in the time zone. Yeah, so yeah, they're like, "Oh, okay, well, maybe one day in the future we get passports and come out there or whatever." So I don't have a passport currently, so I can't leave the country.
Yeah.
But I'm working on
And I'm
that.
working on trying to
Yeah.
get over to the States eventually as well. So, that could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
a fun thing as well if we keep collaborating and have a few songs together. You never know,
Yeah.
we could pop up somewhere and that could be a vibe.
Uh-huh. Right, right, definitely, definitely. So yeah, I'm excited about everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm wishing you the best, and hopefully everything will pan out. You know, and everything will be good, and you make some connections and stuff like that, and move this track and move our projects forward. You know what I'm saying? And we can really enjoy the fruits of our labor, as they say.
Yeah, and I'm so keen to work on this next track. Like, I'm loving the vibe
Yeah,
already, so that's cool.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
for me, I'm like, yeah, I've got another song that I've. Oh, you know what I did? I pulled one of the songs off SoundCloud that I had, and I've
Mhm.
redone that for Friday night.
That
So
manifest.
yeah,
Okay, I remember you mentioned that. Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
okay,
So
cool.
that one's good to go. I just need to record some vocals today, which is going to be really fun. And yeah, going to be in
Okay,
the studio, and then yeah, once that's good, and then I've got a song that I actually produced, that I'm
okay,
collaborating on another artist with, Princess Alana, which is cool because I
okay.
was like adding one in there that I've done. So
Right,
yeah,
nice. Wow.
I had to quickly throw
Very
something
good.
in there. So yeah, but I can't wait to write to our next song, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think you're gonna
look at
kill
that.
that. You're gonna kill it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think yeah, that's pretty much about it. We'll just like probably leave it at there and wrap it up.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time today, and even just like yeah, like the time that we've spent collaborating and back and forths, and even with yeah, like I think the main thing is just the communication. It's like if I don't like something, like I find it really easy now to just be like, hey, like no, I'm not liking that. And someone actually asked me that the other day. They're like, how do you do that? How? And I'm just
Um,
like, I'm like, I've just got to do it. Because
right,
if I
yeah.
don't,
Nothing to it but to do it. Right, right,
yeah,
right.
and like I kind of laughed and I was like, oh, here's a message. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm very tactful, I'm very blunt sometimes, but I'm like, I think it's better to stop somebody in their tracks than and be like, oh, it's this vocal that I'm not feeling, or this is it, I've
Right,
changed
right,
it
right.
now, here it is. But like something that I've actually learnt from this process is holding back on sending my vocals to someone until I know that I'm completely happy with them,
Yeah,
so that we're not
of course.
sending tracks back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Because then
Right.
it can be quite confusing. Like my folder for you is like under your name, and then like I'm just
Okay.
getting it's so like messy. There's no
I've
organization to
got
it.
10 I've got 10 folders. I need to get a little better at organizing stuff because I always name the beats like the second song I gave you. I call it EMJ or whatever. And naturally, that's not going to be the name of the song. So when you get back to me or whatever, I'm going to have to change it. But I'll still have like two or three folders that say EMJ. And then I might actually be like, okay, well, what is what? Did these have the original tracks? Did I change them? Did you send me the vocals or whatever, or just whatever? So I just need to get a little better organized as far as my folders and renaming things or stuff like that because sometimes it gets lost in the sauce as they say, and I named beats um, that I did 6 7 8 months ago, and I got to relook for them. I can't find them, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I remember I made this song, this beat or whatever, and I might have named it something crazy just to name it, and then now I can't remember what that name was. So I got this little habit of or this routine of naming my beats after edible products. Like A, my first beat might be A, that's apple. B would be banana. C would be cherries. D would be donuts. E would be eggs. And F would be falafels. I just go in order, and that helps me remember, through the alphabet what songs or what beats I made in that order. You know what I'm saying? So I know if I got something that's sauerkraut, which is actually a song I'm working on now, that starts with the S, I know I did that after bananas and after cherries and donuts and stuff like that. So I'm getting better at organizing my beats and then turn those into songs that will be renamed once I collaborate with these other artists and stuff. So I've gotten a lot better with that, but I still need to, be more ironclad with that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I
yeah.
love that
So I got this folder.
process. That's really cool though.
No, yeah, yeah.
Well, that's cool. Well, I hope the people that are watching this on YouTube, they take something from that. Um,
Hmm.
like that's really cool. Yeah, I
Oh
remember
yeah, yeah.
when I got Chaos. I think it was like SR1 or something. SR1.
Yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah, you got a good memory. Yeah, yeah. SR1. I don't know why that stood for something. I don't remember what. Sean something. Sean Return. I don't know. It stood for something or whatever. But yeah, I got those folders too. SR1 and EMJ and all this stuff. So yeah, yeah. But I named the EMJ after you. I think we discussed this. Emma. Emma Jasmine or just whatever your name initials were, just so I can focus on you, just to name
Yeah.
that after you. I know exactly where it's going and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's it's all cool. I like really working with you're talented and stuff like that, and you're serious and disciplined and stuff like that. So that's the main thing. You know what I'm saying? I've had good luck with other artists, and then all of a sudden they kind of just wane out, just fade away, and I'm not working with them anymore or whatever. Even though we did good work together, you know what I'm saying? I got tons of material for female songwriters, singer songwriters, and so I think you're probably like one of four female singer songwriters. I have an artist in Germany, one in New Jersey, United States, where I live, another one in Oklahoma, in United States, and so forth. And they're doing pretty good with those projects we worked on. The same way I do with you. Send them the tracks. They tell me what they like, what they don't like, what they want to work with, and they're very talented. They jump on it, and then it's like boom, okay, now we got a song. You know, it's published, copyrighted, and everything, and it's streaming. Even though streaming, the payment kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? It's like micro pennies or whatever. But my main thing is trying to get like sync opportunities for sync licensing and stuff like that. TV's commercial, TV shows, commercials, motion pictures, and so forth, playlists, and so forth, and trying to hook up with sync licensing agents and stuff like that, which is really a good way to go, especially if you're an independent artist. You know what I'm saying? That's really like one of the best ways to get monetary income. And get your name out there, get your work out there, and that leads to other things in the future and stuff like that. Once people see your discipline, your determination to have good quality good quality work, good quality projects and stuff. So it comes together.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's where it is. Hey, like money's not in streaming, but like performance, yeah.
Mhm.
You get
Right.
that, still get collection royalties for performance, and yeah, like you said,
Right.
syncing. Yeah, that would be sick to get a sync deal. Someday.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you gotta look out. I mean, you're in a situation where you meet a lot of people. Just working the 9 to 5 job that I have, I don't like it or don't enjoy it at all whatsoever. So it's like, the only real opportunities that I come across or I try to seek is usually like online. Occasionally I'll make some phone calls and stuff like that. Actually talk to people, meet people. And again, I'm a member of ASCAP. I've been a member of ASCAP for maybe 30 years now. They have these shows and showcases and award shows and stuff like that in the New York area. And I'm like 10 minutes from New York. And I go to these showcases and these other events that they have, and you meet other people who are looking for music, other record label owners. They want music for their artists. You can always sell songs. What I'm saying? Sell the publishing. You make 6 figures easily just making music and collabing and just making songs that record labels and other established artists want to buy. What I'm saying? So that's usually also a viable option as far as getting some real, monetary income from just writing songs. Some people just all they do is write. Some people just perform. What I'm saying? And then some people they don't perform; they just write and compose. And it's a lot of them are millionaires now just by doing that. So you got tons of options, to bring in income doing exactly what we're doing the way we're doing it. What I'm saying? So and that's always a good thing. And like I said, I got my duckies in a row, as they say, spread out. I cast my net wide. You know what I'm saying? I'm also an artist, so I put my weird music on my on the platforms as well: Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, iTunes, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's fun, it's exciting, and I can't wait to see how things really pan out as far as all these projects, especially yours, being that you're a talented performer as well, and you got your format down as far as how you do things and stuff like that. Some of my other artists, they perform as well, but they're more like just open mic, and maybe some garage band type stuff or whatever. But exposure is exposure. If you perform in front of 100 people or just 20 people, out of those 20 people, you might just have that one person or two people who are like, hey, you know what, I really like what you do, I want to talk to you about doing some other projects in the future, and that can lead to monetary income as well. So
Yeah,
like I
so
said, just
true.
focus on the quality, of doing what we do, and that's it. The we'll bear the fruits of our labor. It'll come through. Just keep being mindful of it.
Well, that's
Don't go
it.
to sleep on it.
Yeah, I think I performed Chaos after another gig that I was performing in, and it was kind of part of like an open mic, and then from that,
Okay.
that's where I actually got the gig in Sydney on Friday. So yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
pretty
yeah.
exciting. You just gotta get your stuff out there, and like right now
That's
I'm
it.
about,
That's
like,
it.
once we jump off this, like I'm actually gonna go and practice my set,
Okay.
and dance in the mirror and
I wish I was
hone in
there.
on my skills.
Gave me goosebumps. Wow.
Yeah, I'll get some good
Yeah.
videos for you as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, my friends are looking forward to it too. They're like, "Oh, did she perform yet? Is she coming out with it yet?" I'm like, "Yeah, relax, man. It's coming together." You know what I'm saying? Everybody's anxious.
Oh,
You know
I
what I'm saying? Even
love
here
that. Yeah.
in the United States, you know what I'm saying? They're like, "Oh, wow, okay, Sean. So, when's your friend coming out with this, that, and the other?" I'm like, "Hey, it takes time." I'm kind of like when you bake a cake or when you cook some really good food that smells good. I'm always ready to eat. Waiting has never been my strong point. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I know that's part of the process and stuff like that. So, I'm working with another artist. I just finished doing his artwork for his CD cover maybe about an hour ago before I started talking to you. And I don't know if he's going to put it uh, on a playlist or whatever. He's anxious to get it out. We kind of got lost in the time and stuff like that. And this has taken 4 months to do like one song or whatever. It's our second song in like 4 months and stuff like that. So I'm just like, yo, you know what? Let's get this out. You know what I'm saying? And it's about to be summertime. It's like a light rock song or whatever. So, it's kind of like the kind of thing in the United States anyway, where it's kind of like they can be on a beach or it's like they want to skateboard and stuff like that. And, just the kind of light rock song that they would enjoy and stuff like that. So let's get it out. If we wait another 30 days, it'll be like the end or towards the end of July and whatnot. And so, timing is everything also with some of these projects. Some of
Mm.
these things you got to get it out, you know what I'm saying, or just have it done in time to get it out at a good time, you know what I'm saying. It's like you got a Christmas song that you made or whatever. You don't want to release it the day after Christmas, you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
save that for next year, but yeah, you got to make sure you get these things done and be a forward thinker. I
Mm.
try to think forward and stuff like that. And yeah, I actually got a couple of Christmas songs I'll be working on in the next couple of months or whatever, and just try to get it done and stuff like that. I think that's going to be a good project. Maybe even for you, you know what I'm saying. I don't know. They celebrate Christmas in Australia, like yeah,
Yeah, we
okay,
do.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So I think it's worldwide or whatever. So I got
Yeah.
some ideas for some stuff. I got some good sounding stuff or whatever. So it
Oh,
gives me
that's
time
cool.
to work on it. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
was
So
actually thinking like this morning I was cleaning up the house and I was like, oh, let's put on some smooth jazz, and then I was like, I actually want to do a jazz album.
Oh, okay, yeah. See,
Eventually. I don't know when. That's a pretty big thing to say. An album? Like, I need to do some more singles
uh-huh.
first, but,
Woo.
I think I
Yeah,
definitely want to do that.
that's work. That's real work. That's yeah. When you talk about jazz and stuff like that, if you're gonna you know, do any kind of justice to just the name jazz or whatever, yeah, you really gotta put some oomph into what you're doing and stuff like that. I think you would probably sound very good as like a modern uh, jazz, make some modern jazz tracks or whatever. I mean, I don't know what your quote jazz ability would be or whatever, but like that's very successful in the United States. It's
Yeah.
highly successful. You know what I'm saying? Like you have like Diggable Planets and then some of these other hip hop groups and stuff like that. If it's the kind of jazz that young people can understand and young people can get into, it'll be very successful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I'm even thinking if it's just influenced by that heavily, like, and then maybe still have flavors of hip hop, of course. Um,
yeah. Thing is,
yeah.
you gotta cater to the people who are buying the music now, and that's really the youngsters. That's like, the 16 to like 23, 24 year olds and stuff like that, like college age. They're streaming everything, they're buying everything, they're spending the most money, you know, demographically speaking or whatever. And if you want to like really put something out there that's like pop or whatever, you got to impress like some of these youngsters and stuff like that. As we get older, in 30s and 40s and 50s and whatnot, people are still kind of like on a traditional basis. They're trying to buy albums, they're trying to buy vinyl again, and these albums that are being sold out there are like $35, $40, for I guess for DJs who still use turntables. I guess. I mean, I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah, the ones who are like doing all the streaming and this artist got a billion streams and that artist got a billion streams, like 999 million of them are like they're from these youngsters and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. These youngsters are the ones who are like, you know, they're the ones who are like making or breaking like a lot of these artist projects and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I'm a member of ASCAP, and they just had some award show a few days ago, I think, and they gave out all these awards to these artists. A lot of these people I never heard of before. I'm like, wow, who is this? And they like, oh, they got a billion streams or half a billion streams and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, they made good money. They're popular. They're on tour. They're very successful, and I never heard of them. I don't know who these people are. They're performing at Coachella. I mentioned that to you before. I'm just like, well, who is this? And I'm like, oh, they made a song that sounds like something I produced or I can produce. So, maybe something I can produce even better than what I'm listening to from what they made. So, that's inspiration. I know it kind of sounds funny, like I'm trying to gloat or toot my horn, but and I'm really not trying to do that. But like I said, I like being original and doing original stuff and showing and learning and doing and being disciplined to know what I feel is good and what needs to be better. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, and I
but
think too,
that's where I'm coming from.
like on that note, is like I don't think I'm gonna care about catering to like a specific demographic. I think it's just what creatively flows and what comes out naturally in
Yeah, you
that
first.
jazz
Yeah,
realm.
you of course.
Like
Yeah,
it's like, like this morning it was just thinking about the sun and stuff like that, and it being like really beautiful and creative, and
yeah.
rather than being like, oh, like, because I think I've done that for so long. It's like, oh, I can't release stuff because it has to be about this and then I was like, no, you're boxing yourself in. I was like, just create. And I'm like, even the first
That's
line
it. Yeah,
of Chaos is like, don't think too much or you'll end up down the rabbit hole. And it's like, it's so
yeah.
true. Like, don't have to think to cater to
Overthink.
this or overthink things or try to perfectionize it. And I think that's what was so important with this song is
Mm-hmm.
like, I really didn't care about trying to be a perfectionist, and I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to create. I just wanted to get a song together. I just wanted to just be, and I think that's the
In the
beauty
moment.
in it. Yeah, and like if I can keep honing in on that
Uh
and
huh.
just letting the music come through me rather than being like, "Oh, I've got to worry about everything else." Like you don't. You really don't,
Right. 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 True. Yeah. I
It'll
let other
come.
people, kind of like do the from the business aspect. That's just the kind of the taste that they'll throw at you. I mean, if you're with a label, they'll direct you towards that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say that being with a record label so constricting, because you have your what you just said, you want to flow with it, and they'll be like, well, no, you're going to flow the way we want to flow. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not getting this contract and stuff like that. That's been the ironclad kind of ball and chain around your ankle kind of thing. That's what more or less what I was referring to. But as far as you yourself, yeah, you got to be impressed with you first. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, once you get impressed with it, other people will be impressed. But when you talk about the music business and being with a label or being on a contract or just whatever, even a production deal, record deal, or just whatever, you're going to have the suits, the power suits and the power skirts at the
Mm.
labels and stuff like that, trying to tell you. And that's why a lot of people clash. They bump heads. People get dropped from labels. They get dropped out of contracts. They buy themselves out of contracts. It's a business. It's all about money
Mm.
first for that faction and so forth. And I've never been in that kind of situation. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I know it's a coin toss, heads or tails, whether you be successful and happy. Because a lot of people aren't. A lot of people got overworked, underpaid, they got robbed. A lot of these songs that we loved from 10, 20 years ago, these artists now are broke, they're homeless, living in their cars, working at Walmart and so forth. And yeah, I've heard a lot of horror stories, probably more horror stories about that than success stories and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, it's
but
so
it's good that
true.
more
Or
people are
even them
doing
just like
independent basis.
not owning their own music catalogs and stuff like that.
Right.
Like we
Right,
hear
right,
about that
right.
so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
So it's like,
So, I think they said, Britney Spears and Taylor Swift, they just recently were able to buy their song catalogs and stuff like that, where they own their masters now. And, that's been a legal battle, has been going on for decades and so forth. It really gets kind of funky with, like I said, dealing with the power suits and the power skirts in the industry and stuff like that. So, but I still got my sanity, and I got my smarts, and nobody's gonna rob me. They're talking about, oh, this person got offered uh $200,000 and they turned it down, and that was a smart thing to do. Because they realize, okay, if you got your publishing set up, that $200,000 that you'll probably spend in 2 years, 3 years, and it'll be gone, you can turn that $200,000 into maybe $20 million over the next 20 years or whatever, or 30 years or whatever. And it's a wiser investment just to turn down that $200,000 initially up front, because the record labels and the business people, they know what they're doing. It's a business. They know how to get over on people. They know how to, make you work for them and do
mm-hmm.
what's best for them. And then years later, you're broke, you're working at Target, you know what I'm saying? And, and they're still, riding around in their limos, living in their $1 million mansions and stuff like that. Agents are like that, record label, A&R personnel and so forth. They're like that, managers are like that. So, like I said, you got to be careful, because, they might throw some money at you, and, like I said, you jump on it, pay your taxes on it. And then it's like, okay, a year from now, what do you got? You know what I'm
Yeah, not to
saying? And
get too
money
excited.
goes quick. Yeah, money goes quick.
Mm.
Somebody offered me $100,000, it'll probably be gone in probably a couple of days. After I buy my BMW convertible and give my mom some money, you know, buy a loaf of bread and a lollipop, that money's gone. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but that's how it is. That's how it is a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah,
Mm.
so like I said, you seem to have a good head on your shoulders and stuff like that. So, I know you'll do good, and you know, you keep your wits about you, as they say. You're gonna be successful. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
That's
like I said, I
it.
got goosebumps. I'm excited about what you're doing and what we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm so excited. And yeah, gonna go do some practice now. So thanks for
Okay.
jumping on with me.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
it's,
jump on the remix. I'm gonna jump on the
yeah.
remix tonight.
Oh,
Chaos
nice.
remix is still there. I'm still chopping up your vocals, and you know, we're gonna I'm gonna get that done. That should be done this week, hopefully. I got my other artist out the way and his CD artwork and all this stuff I was working on all day today. So yeah, now I can get back to doing sahaja.
Yeah. Sahaja. Love it.
Yeah,
All
indeed,
right. Well,
indeed.
we'll end this, and then I was gonna say, are you keen for me to maybe stream the show on Friday? Like, if it's, I think I'm on at 9:30 my time. So what would that be your time?
9:30 your time would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
7:30 my time. But you're talking about 9:30 at night, correct?
9:30 at
You're
night.
you're
Yeah.
9:30. Yeah, so that's 7:30 in the morning to me.
Yeah, that's a
You know
bit
what I'm
early.
saying? I'll be at my crappy job. Yeah, so yeah, because you're 14 hours ahead. I'm 14 hours behind. So yeah, 9:30 at night to you would be 7:30 in the morning to me. I'll
Yeah.
just be, yeah, yeah.
Well, if you
So
want to sneak away with all of your coworkers, that'd be so dope. You can go into the storeroom and watch it live.
that would be cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was about to say, even if it was our break time at that time, I could probably, do something. But no, I'll be hard at work if I even go to work on Friday. It really sucks. I hate my job, and they know it. And see one thing also about some of my coworkers, they know that I'm doing stuff like this, and some of them I think are kind of jealous, and they're just like, okay, well, their life revolves around that job,